You've got analysts such as Guggenheim saying that you significantly outperformed on all key metrics. But Bloomberg Intelligence, they're flagging perhaps some questions around growth dynamics in the second half. Can you speak to that?
Thank you, Caroline, for this opportunity. Look, I leave this talk to the expert, but we are building a long-term business. And if you look at the growth in a very important market that is cyber resilience, we grew 40% year over year on our subscription ARR to over 900 million. I mean, we are growing at this speed, at that scale. And last quarter, we beat the quarter handsomely. Q2, then quarter before, we beat the quarter handsomely. We are continuing to outperform both on top line and our profitability metrics. And this quarter, we also raised the guidance for the rest of the year. So we are very bullish about what is in front of us. We are confident in our execution, what we see, and we'll finish our year strong.
Bipul, in the context of like what Rubrik actually does, it seems like when enterprises invest more in cloud or shift to the cloud, there's a benefit that you derive from that. Could you explain the basics of that relationship and those mechanics?
As more and more businesses and governments have realized that just doing cyber prevention will not allow them to run their business when there is a successful cyber attack, because cyber attacks are inevitable, they are all thinking about cyber resilience. How do they continue to run their business even in presence of attacks? How do hospitals continue to admit patients? Banks continue to dole out money? And that's what we do. We help businesses ensure that their applications are running. And applications could be in their enterprise, could be in the SaaS, could be in the cloud. And as businesses are doing more digital transformation to gain productivity, cyber is the number one risk. And ability to run their services all the time, irrespective of successful cyber attack, is what we help the businesses with. So more cloud transformation, more SaaS adoption, more digital transformation is actually helping our business.
Bipul, switching gears slightly, I think we asked you, let's say, a dozen times over the course of a year when you were going to go public. And eventually it happened, and it feel like it all happened quite fast. So I just wanted to ask what it's like being a public company and how that you think that's going.
It's going great as a public company, but for me as a CEO, there is no real difference other than reporting to public market and doing callbacks with our stakeholders. Because from the day one of the company, we wanted to build a long-term company, a company that lasts longer than my own professional career and life. And there is no difference in terms of how we build our product, how we think about the next chapter of Rubrik. We are coming up on $1 billion that we actually guided to. I'm thinking about how do we go to 3 billion and beyond? What are the product configuration that we do today so that we have high acceleration 3-4 years down the line? That's how we think as a business, and there's no real change in how we operate our business.
Since you've gone public, though, we had the most major global IT outage, and everyone started thinking about resiliency all over again. Now, today, in fact, I think Microsoft is currently hosting a cybersecurity summit for the first time since that outage, with government participation to really get their learnings. People, how many customers did you suddenly sign from that event? How have you seen the market shift after it?
It was an unfortunate event, but it actually previewed what a real cyber attack could do to our digital interconnected global economy. And it really, as you mentioned, brought the discussion of resilience at the top. And so we are seeing a lot of CIOs and board of directors and CISOs and CEOs having this conversation that how do we keep our businesses up and running irrespective of what happens. So we are definitely seeing anecdotal evidence of like a renewed interest, renewed focus. And cyber resilience is the number one topic in cybersecurity. But it is one of the many factors. And over time, it will be clear how much impact it does to actual like demand and top line.
People, very simply, did you get invited to this summit that Microsoft's hosting, and what are you hearing about it?
We have a great partnership with Microsoft. In fact, they gave us Healthcare Partner of the Year because we are really going after protect the unprotected, which is the healthcare segment of the market. And obviously, Microsoft is very serious about cybersecurity. If you look at the number of initiatives that they are doing, number of partnerships that we are creating with Microsoft, where we are bringing the cyber resilience, they are bringing the cloud and infrastructure security, and together we are delivering end-to-end security. So as far as Microsoft is concerned, our partnership around security is very strong, and they are quite serious about it.
What about global growth more broadly, Bipul? And where are you seeing CEOs, CISOs willing to spend at this moment?
So I was in Asia 3-4 weeks ago, and I spent almost a week in Japan. And if you look at a country like Japan, which is a large industrial economy, they are also undertaking digital transformation because they want to gain productivity. They want to have this whole digital moment for themselves. And the number one concern for their digital transformation is cybersecurity, because in a manufacturing oriented economy, if you have digital disruption because of cyber attacks, I mean, the whole economy could come to a standstill, or the whole company could come to a standstill. So folks are very serious about investing in cybersecurity, particularly around cyber resilience, because they have done a lot of investment in prevention of attack, but they are not able to prevent the unpreventable. So the focus is, how do I keep my services up and running? How do I ensure that I confidently do digital transformation and more?